Hi, and welcome to our SendOutCards Weekly Success webinar. I am Jacki Semerau Tait, referral partner for SendOutCards, and today we're going to talk a little bit about getting fancy with it. If you really want to get fancy, then there are plenty of third-party tools out there that can help you. So today what I thought I would do is show you one of my favorites called Canva. And I thought I'd do a little Canva tutorial on how you can create a fancy-schmancy card in Canva, save it as a JPEG, and then just upload it as one photo into the SendOutCard system so that when you're sending a card, if you're just dropping one photo in there, SendOutCards picks that up pretty easily and you're not going to have any quality control issues. So let's do that on Canva. So I'm going to show you how that works. So let's pull up my Canva account. I'm going to show that to you. Now, Canva has a free version. I'm on the paid version, but honestly, there's not very many differences. In fact, I'm thinking about canceling the paid version because there aren't that many differences. So don't feel like you need to come in here and create the paid version. One thing you can do though, they do have some premium photos and things like that. So if you wanted to find a specific photo within their system, a lot of times it'll just charge you like $1 or $2, $3, something like that. And then you can use that photo in your design. But let's take a look. So when you pull up your Canva account, once you log in or create an account and then have you logged in, this is what it's gonna look like, right? So you've got all of these options to create a design, and then it'll show you some designs that you've created in the past. Now, some of these it automatically saves. So sometimes, like for instance, this one right here, this is actually one I'm going to go ahead and move to the trash because it's something that I started and then didn't finish. Same thing here, started, didn't finish, that type of thing. But today what I thought I would show you is I am in the process of creating a fancy-schmancy card for one of the communities that I have several listings in as a realtor. And the solution that I want to send out, I'd like to create a flat card and send that out to everybody who lives in that community that just showcases the different listings that I've had and invites them to give me a call if they're thinking about buying or selling in the in that community. So let's go ahead and pull that up. Now, actually, I'm not going to pull that up yet. I'm going to show you right from the start what you can do. So here you have all of these regular, create a design where you have social media posts, Facebook posts, all of these great things. And if you click on them, they will give you, different options. So if you go ahead and click on more, it's going to show you, see, they are recommending certain designs to me because these are the ones that I frequently use. But you can scroll down and you can see all of the different options that you have. So the one that you want to scroll down to is you can go to events and you can choose the invitation. The invitation is a 5x7 card. So this is the perfect size to upload into your SendOutCards. So if you click on that, it's going to start to create for you the basis. And then over here, you can have all of your different Canva layouts. And this is great because if you do want to create something and you're not very into graphic design and all that good stuff, you've got some options right here for you. So you can see that it would be really easy to come in here and say, okay, well, I really do want to create. Now, obviously, these are all for invitations, but you can change the message to whatever you want it to be. That's not a problem. So let's just say I wanted to pick one. As you're going through here, what I would encourage you is if you have a photo that you personally want to use and then it's going to be more text, pay attention to what that text looks like and then where the photo is, because when you pull it over, you can just drop your own. So if I were to pull this one over and if I wanted to change that, now I can upload all my own photos. You can see over here is your basics, so you can find what you want to do. So let's say the first thing I want to do is change out that picture. So I'm going to come over here to uploads. Now if I wanted to do an invitation, let's say, let me go through some of mine and just find You can see these are all uploads that I have, but let's just go with this one. This is something that we do in Flagstaff. It's the luxury home tour. And these are all agents that showed up. We kind of do a group photo every tour, and these are agents that showed up there. So let's say I wanted to send a thank you for attending, and I could start here, and then I could then go ahead and switch all this out. So I picked this one because I kind of liked the layout and I liked the fonts on that. So I'm not going to change up any fonts. There's no need to, right? So maybe here I'm going to put thanks for coming. And then here I'm going to put, I don't want to really put James and Maria. So if I want to delete that, I'm just going to highlight whatever it is I want to get rid of, come up to the little trash can and get rid of it. Same here, don't want that there. And so maybe this one I'm going to put Flagstaff. Let's go ahead and delete this one too. So you can see, I mean, you can just take it from scratch where you want it to be, and then you can come in here and, oops. You can come in here and then make it what you want it. So I'm going to say, thanks for coming, Flagstaff Luxury Home Tour. Okay. Then if I wanted to continue with this one, I would go ahead and continue to delete all of these little elements that I didn't want there. Maybe this one I'll delete, and then put in this one maybe the date of the tour. So let's just say this was the last one, 5/13/18. I probably don't need a heart when I'm sending a thank you for coming to a home tour. So I can go ahead and do all of that good stuff. Then what I'm going to do, let me come up here. If you just click in where that is right here, this is what the title is. So when you download that into your onto your computer, whatever you've named it is what it's going to be named. So I really want to encourage you, make sure you rename it so that you can easily find it. So one of the things that I like to do is if I'm creating something that's going to go in SendOutCards, I name it SendOutCards, and then whatever the subject is. Okay. Then you just click done. Then you come over here and click on download. Now, here's the thing that this is super key for if you're going to be using these in SendOutCards. When you choose the invitation, it automatically assumes you're going to send this out to print. Well, we are, but not the way they think. So you want to make sure you change this from a PDF to a JPEG or a PNG. Either of these are perfect for uploading into the SendOutCard system. So I'm going to just choose a JPEG, and then I'm going to click on download. And then it's going to prepare, and it always gives you a little motivational quote. Kind of fun. Now you can just ignore all of this stuff because this is if you want to post it or tweet it or all that stuff. Well, you don't. You want to upload this into your SendOutCard system. So now that's downloaded into my system, all I have to do with that is go into SendOutCards, and when I start to create my card, I'm going to choose the blank photo on the front and then upload that image into my SendOutCards system. So it's super easy to use. So I'm going to show you another way. I want to make sure that I've given you a couple of different options for what you're comfortable with. Now, let me move, I'm going to move myself way over here. And let's use the custom dimensions. Now let's say if you want to use the custom dimensions, then here's where you're going to come. And again, you want to think 5 by 7 unless you're doing a large card. And then you want to find out those specifics. I think they're 8 by 11 or 8 by 14, something like that. So I'm going to do the width times the height. Now, so obviously if I'm going to do a 5 by 7, that's going to be a vertical card this way. That's going to open like this. If I do 7 by 5, then it's going to be the card that stands this way and opens up this way. And then what you want to do, super important, you're going to change it. It always defaults to pixels, but you want to choose inches. Okay, so that's going to give you the proper, dimensions. So we're going to just click on design. So this is more if you want to start from scratch. So I showed you how you can create one using one of Canva's templates, but now let's create one that is just from scratch, and you can get as creative or not creative as you want, and I'll show you where all the little elements are that you can pull into the card, if I can get it to work. All right, let's try again. I feel like this is not, oh, of course it's not. We wouldn't want that to be available while we're on a live webinar, would we? All right, let's try it again. All right, we're going to use our custom dimensions and 5 by 7 inches. We're going to click design. There we go. See, it's all technology companies that will throw you for a loop when you most want it not to. So just keep that in mind. All right, so here's what it's going to default to. You've got your blank page here, and it's going to show you your layouts over here. So you've got all of these great grids that you can start from. So I'm going to go ahead and recreate the card that I wanted to send out to that community that I mentioned earlier. So in that, I have 4 listings in there that I want to highlight, plus I want to put a little bit of text in there. So I need to find a box that'll fit that. So I'm going to come over here and look. I need something with at least 5 boxes in it. So let's do this one. Okay, so all I did is click on it, it automatically puts it over there. Now I can make this bigger so we can see it a little bit better. I still want to be able to see the whole thing. So there's where we're at. So now I can come over here to elements, and this is going to give me all sorts of options that you can play with. And some of these things, like I said, they're going to be free options, and some of them are going to be paid for. So I can click on the free photos, and it's going to show me something that I can use for free, and I just drag and drop it over to where I want it to be. Okay. Now, if I kept scrolling down, you're going to find some, and it's right here. This is where you're going to tell. These are where it says it's free. If there's a charge, it'll say $1, $2, what have you. Okay. If you wanted to go back and change the grid, you just would click on your grids here. You have frames that you can put in there. So, I mean, if you're used to using elements in SendOutCards, this should look a little bit familiar, okay? It's a little bit of the same ideal, different system, different ways around it, so you're going to have to navigate and play around. But what I want to do is take a shape here because I want to make this box in the middle, I want to make that text. Well, I don't like these colors at all. So as long as I've got it, if I click on it, it's highlighted. It's going to show you up here where your colors are. So I'm going to switch that out. I'm going to choose a gray. And then for the frame, I'm going to come down and I'm going to choose a white. Okay, super easy. Then you just click into the element and it's done. So now I'm going to resize it to match the frame I want it to fit in. Okay, so I'm going to go down till, oops, see, you can see there. So I'm going to put it right back up. Come here. And there we go. All right, so now I want to put in those photos. So I'm going to come over here to uploads. Now, obviously, I already have things preloaded in here, but if I wanted to upload my own images, it's super easy. You click upload your own image, you find the image, you double click on it, and it'll upload it into the system. Actually, I'm going to show you how that's done really fast, even though that one's already uploaded. See how that little bar goes all the way across? You want to wait until it's all the way, this little guy, see how he's kind of filling up, filling up? When it's done is when, so see how it finished and now that's gone? So now it's done and I can pull it over and use it if I wanted to, okay? But I'm going to use, let's see, I have this one I'm going to put here. And this one I'm going to put down here. This one here. And this one right here, there. Okay, so now, boom, I've popped in all of the different pictures that I want to use. And so now I want to do some text overlay to tell you a little bit about each of those. So let's go over to text. So you can create in here, and I think this is available on the free one. This may only be in the paid version. I'm not sure. You'll have to kind of play with it. But you can create a font profile from your brand. These are a few of the favorites that I use on occasion. But for this one, I don't really like any of those. So I'm going to come down here and you can see they have all of these great pre-done fonts. So again, if you're no design expert, don't even worry about it because you can just pull over whatever appeals to you for the feel of the card that you're going for or for whatever your branding is, that type of thing. So this one, I'm actually going to use this one here and I'm going to pull it over and then I'm going to put it in this box. I'm going to make it fit where I'm at. Okay, so I don't want it to be any wider than that box. So this one, I'm going to say sold. And then I'm going to tell you a little bit about, so you just, control all, highlights everything, and then you can just type right over it, or you can hit delete first and then start typing. So this one I'm going to tell you is a 3-bedroom, 2 bath. And we sold it for $280,000. Okay, and I'm going to say the unit number in here too. Now these are all in the same community, so I can just, instead of putting a full address, I can just put that this is unit 2330. So then I'm going to move this to the top, kind of overlay there. And then I would repeat that, right? So now let's say, because I want it to look uniform, I'm going to highlight this, and then all of these options are going to come up here, and see where the little more button is? I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to hit copy. And then that's going to put a copy on there. So then I'll move it over here, and then check this out. See the little lines on there? It helps me line it up so it's exactly even. So now I'm going to put whatever the stats are on this one. This one is available, and this one is unit 2242. This is a 1-bedroom, 1 bath, and it is available for $205. Okay, so then I would do that down here, and I would continue on. And then let's say in this middle section, here's where I want to put, who I am, because I'm sending this out to people who are owners in this community, and I'm trying to see if maybe they want a list. So maybe I want to use this one, I don't know. But you can do the same one, you can get a little crazy, whatever you want to do. I mean, from a design standpoint, you don't want to have 18,000 fonts in anything. So let's say I kind of like this layout, but I still want to use the font that I used before. You can see that the ones that are already being used are going to show up right up here. So I'm going to change it to this so I don't have too many crazy fonts going on. Here's where I'm going to put my name. Oops. Let's try that again. Jacki Tait. And then I would, maybe put, whatever my message is here. Okay. So let's say I have that exactly where I want it to be, and now I'm done, right? And you can get pretty advanced in here. So one of the things that I would do is I would come in here and I would want to filter this to maybe be a little bit, a little bit lighter, so you can see the words a little bit better. So maybe I would change that. I don't know. So here I'm going to rename this again. So again, I'm going to put SendOutCards, because I know I'm going to be uploading this into SendOutCards and I want it easy to find. And I'm going to put venue. And this one I'm just going to put example, because it's obviously not done. It's not the final product I want to use. But for the sake of this tutorial, we'll be finished with it. So I'm going to click done, come up to download, choose JPEG, and download. Done. It's that easy. So now what I can do with that is I'm going to upload that directly into SendOutCards again. With this one, I'm going to create a flat card. And then on the back side of the flat card, it's going to be just all text, where I'm going to invite them to give me a call, tell a little bit about my team, and give them a website where they can check it out. So I've created this great visual. It took barely any time at all. And so I'm going to stop sharing my screen there. And so it's that easy. Now all I have to do is upload that one photo into SendOutCards, instead of trying to go into SendOutCards, upload one of the photos of the, one of the properties, and then trying to figure out text and all that stuff. Because again, with the change in the system that's going on right now, what we're finding is that the more tweaks you make to your card within the SendOutCards system, the more chances that you have that it's going to get dinged for quality control or not quite print out right. And it may go out, being less than what you wanted it to be. So that is my super simple tip for you today on how to use Canva to create exactly the card you want, and then use the SendOutCard system as easily and simply as you know how to do it, by just uploading the one photo instead of trying to get fancy schmancy within the SendOutCard system. So that's my tips for today. And today's webinar we're going to keep super short. And I will also create the link to last week's motivational minute. I'm not going to get motivational today. I think that's a lot to cover, is just how to use that Canva. And so I'll put a link below here where you can click over to last week's motivational, where we talked about getting outside of your comfort zone, and that's currently hosted on YouTube. So I want to thank you for coming on to today's webinar with me. I hope you got a good point and good tips and pointers on how to use Canva to create exactly the fancy schmancy ideal cards that you want to send out to your clients and your sphere of influence and your friends and your family members. So I am Jacki Tait with SendOutCards referral partner. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to post those. I'm happy to listen, and I will see you next week. Here's to your success. Bye-bye.